Okay, first of all, thumbnail. So everybody do a weird
No, we,
pose.
we don't do that anymore, bro. We just put like a girl with big tits.
Yeah, isn't that how we always do it? That's why people come to our shows, right?
Exactly.
Oh yeah, that's why you got like 50,000 views on the last one.
Exactly.
Mm.
That's our secret formula.
Yeah, on
Yeah, you're right.
Grindr.
You're right. You're right.
Well,
You're right. Okay.
introduce
You're
ourselves.
100% white. I mean, right. Okay. All right. Everybody, welcome back to the most intellectual podcast in the world, to the best podcast in the world, to the most correct podcast in the world, and to the most influential
Watched.
podcast in the world, and the most watched podcast in the world.
And hopefully the most subscribed.
Amen.
Yes. So basically,
And the most donated.
And the most liked.
welcome
And the most
to
shared.
everything. This is the Mystery Talks podcast. We are back with another episode number 5.
Five.
Episode number 5, numero 5. All right.
Gang, gang.
So we
oh
have
my
a,
god. Oh
we
my
have
god. He's
Should
Mexican.
we
have a-
introduce ourselves?
we have a
Yeah,
we have
what
a
was
hand-
that? What was the numero cinco? What's that all about?
Oh, I have a Spanish colleague, and he taught me how to count to 10 in Spanish.
Oh.
Is he illegal?
I don't know if he's an illegal alien, but
Ooh.
he's there nonetheless.
Mm.
So
Is
I'm
that
your
a
host.
topic we're talking about today? Question mark?
Yeah,
Mystery
I forgot
Talks?
to I forgot to finish the intro. So
Oh,
we're
yeah.
back.
Please
This is
do.
episode
Please
number
do.
5. I am your host Ty Express, back with my co-host Guy 1 and Guy 2. Welcome everyone. We have a handful of topics today that we're gonna go through, and I think you guys are gonna like it. You guys are gonna enjoy this. It's gonna be a good podcast. It's gonna be a good show. It always is, as usual. It's what we do. Starting with gambling is on the cards today, and the emotions that come through with it. Now, me personally, I'm guilty. I'll say it. I'll come clean. I am guilty of it, and I've gone through some of the emotion stages that gambling has to offer, the good and bad. Now, Guy 1, Guy 2, have you guys ever gambled in your life?
I've gambled in love.
You know what? That is also, yeah. Well, I was specifically talking about like casino gambling, you know,
yeah.
with money, with
Yeah.
cash flow, you know, coming in and out, cash distribution. Oh my God, I can't speak right now.
Gas
Sorry,
distribution?
Gas distribution. Yeah,
Facts,
Yeah.
facts.
yeah. Gas distribution. So gas distribution, and yeah. What about you, Guy 1? Have you gambled before?
Yeah. But I've learned
Oh.
from Wise. Oh, okay, wait. I gamble with the house's money, so it's not my money. I'm not losing anything.
Smart.
Walked away with money, ain't coming back ever again. So yeah.
Smart. And you look like you just came from gambling, or you were in
Yeah.
a business meeting maybe, or you were, you know, you seem all fancy today. So something important.
Of course.
Is it the
this is an
podcast?
important- This is it's an important day because it's podcast number 5, numero
Yep.
cinco, as you alluded to, which I don't know why you know that number in Spanish, but okay. I just wanted to do it for the audience. I think being the best podcast in the world, we have to show that we're fancy. You know what I'm saying? My associate Guy 2, gang. Okay, I like the necklace. Guy 2's also dressed up pretty well, so you know we like to come with style, and we encourage everyone to roll like G's, and the women to roll like the female goddesses they are.
Correct. Very beautifully said.
Simp.
Whoa.
I'm kidding.
Hey, no insulting here.
God is
Okay.
good. God is great.
So we're definitely cutting that part out. Anyways, gambling is a topic today because as we've all have partaken in.
Have we talked about the other topics that we're going to cover today as well? for the
We'll
audience?
talk about later on eventually. Take a chill
For
pill,
sure,
my
for
guy.
sure.
Okay, I'll
But,
try. All right.
But yeah, we have a
I'm
handful
sorry,
of
that
good
was- that was
topics. We have a
too
handful of good topics. Now, I would like to say my personal experience first, and then what some people or most people experience, I would say, because as you said, the house always wins,
What
even
does
when
that
you
even
think you're
mean?
winning.
What does that mean? I don't
The
like. I
house
know.
always wins.
I know nothing about gambling.
You actually don't know what the house is?
What is the house?
Okay, when you're in the casino, where are you? You're in their
In the-
house.
In the casino.
You're in their house.
Yeah, so basically the casino is the house, right?
Oh, okay.
They're the owners, and whenever
You're
you
paying their
think you're
rent.
making a lot of money, that money that you're making is either from this handful load of money that other people have lost and it's just been circulating. It's been distributing within that same casino. There's not actually a lot of money going out. It's just coming in and in and in because people keep on spending and spending and putting in, and so that it's all rigged pretty much. It's all rigged.
Interesting.
The house never loses. That's the saying.
And
And
if
yeah,
they lose, they just get fined. And they'll pay the fine because they win most times. So when you see all these people, see, oh, the casino is cheating. Oh, it's not fair. Sure, they actually might be cheating because it's their house. They can do what they want. That's why they're winning.
mhm.
But if the government catches them, they'll just slap maybe, I don't know, a couple 100K fine. But bro, that's like 1 hour's profit
Yeah,
just gone. And
yeah.
then
No,
they'll
they're making
continue
a
it.
couple mil a night for sure.
So it's a funny thing that people say, oh, the house lose? Yeah, they can, but they'll just pay it off.
Correct, correct. And I will say my personal experience. While I've had some dubs in the past,
Okay,
some God-given dubs,
would like that.
and even though throughout, because when you're winning, all you want to keep doing, all the thing that's going through your head is, I want to make more. This isn't enough. This goes through every gambler's mind, especially the most addictive ones. As soon as they get on that winning streak, as soon as they think they've cracked the code, they know the system, as soon as you know they think they know the secret formula, it's not like that at all. The casino, again, the house never loses, and the casino is like the serpent in the forest, ready to bite you at any moment, is just lurking around, and it's waiting for you to make that one silly mistake that is just waiting for you to actually keep betting and betting. All those, uh, you know, tens of hundreds or maybe even thousands of dollars that you think you're winning, it could all go away just like that with one single further bet. So that happens a lot, and that's happened to me. Keep making a lot of money, you're gambling, you're putting on red, playing the roulette, you're playing cards, blackjack. You think you're on a winning streak.
What's your biggest one, like wins?
So it's not actually a lot, but maybe for some fellows that are not that don't have a lot of money, might seem like a lot. So in one single bet that I believe it was the roulette. No, actually, it was not a roulette, or it was some sort of roulette. It was a wheel. It was a wheel, and in that wheel, you have different categories that you can bet on. Some that will make 3x, 5x, 10x your money, and with one bet, it was around maybe. I had $30 left of credit. I had went all in, so it was kind of risky. And if I made the bet, I was gonna 5x my money. So I had $30 left of credit, and I walked out with around almost 900. So,
No way. You 30x your money?
oh yeah, no, it was well, because the money I had put in left me with 30. So I had around like 200 something. Woo. So if I lost, I would have been only left with the 30. But the money I put in, it took me back up to like 900. So that was sweet, that was nice, and I was
Oh,
smart
man.
that I decided not to keep going.
Yeah.
Although I
That's
went back the
actually
next day. And
Degenerate
then
right
I
here.
lost
That's a
some.
degenerate, folks.
And then exactly, it was degenerate, and we are always here to promote non-degenerate behavior. So don't do what I did and think you got it all figured out. You think you've cracked the code because there is no code to crack in a casino. Everything is rigged. And one thing I will say is definitely stay away from the virtual machines. The virtual machines, as compared to the physical roulettes or the tables where there are dealers handing out cards, the virtual machines, you will never know what your actual odds are if it's actually uh, cheating the system. It's its own system, let's say. Because with a physical table where there's a person rolling the ball or the dice and it's physically rolling around the roulette, there's not much that you can do to make the system to have a cheating system there. But if it's a virtual machine, you never know actually. So if you think you can pull off some martingale scale, that you can just keep doubling down your bets until you make it, it can still land on the same thing over and over and over again. And that's how people have lost a lot. People have lost so much money. They've bet their car, their
Oh man.
houses. They've gone homeless. There have been so many devastating stories with these gamblers that they've lost literally everything.
In conclusion, is gambling? Do you recommend gambling for like people, for the audience?
If I were to answer it, I would
Yes,
not
go on.
recommend it because
It's haram.
the yes, that's a big thing. For you to make money, you ideally want to make it through means which are quite ethical. And obviously we don't condone selling drugs, although it is very profitable, I hear. Don't do it. Same thing with gambling. You can win, but you can also lose. And if the house wins more than we do, we are at a disadvantage already. So why are you going to take a risk to lose all of your money? Now, if we talk about probability, all statistics show that most people will lose money. Yet, you see people go there all the freaking time. Why? Is it logical? No, I don't think they're math geniuses. I don't really see many math geniuses. And if they do, they probably make the money. They probably have some secret way. But it's the emotions that drag people. And once you get rid of the emotions and you think, okay, actually, what the hell am I doing here? Am I just here to just give them my money and waste my time here and do nothing and feel like a dumbass right after? If they were logical, yes, that would be the answer. But a lot of people are emotional or ignorant and will want to scam themselves. So here in Mystery Talks, we advise you guys to stay curious and ask yourself, why am I doing the things I'm doing?
Correct.
How's that?
Correct. So when you're gambling, you're also gambling with your own emotions and your heart. And
Ooh,
as been said, it is haram.
very,
is
very
sinful.
haram, actually.
It is sinful. And one thing I will say, I will suggest this one movie, and is with an actor called Kevin Spacey. I believe the movie
Is it 21?
called... Yeah, there you go.
Yes, yes, yes.
So in that movie, actually,
Tell me about it.
just a group of people, very smart people that are very good at math. So it's, that you brought that up, people that are very good at math. And there is technically a way to technically cheat the system, but it is considered very illegal to do. So again, you're not technically cheating the system because you're not allowed to do this. So you can't, again, the house never loses. And basically with blackjack, one of the more popular games in a casino, where you're dealing cards, and you basically, the premise of the game is, there's the player and the dealer. If the player has more than what the dealer has, up to 21 exactly is the number, that's the magical number, you win. So if you have more than what the dealer has, you win. Now there is a way technically that you can count the cards. As they say, you can count the cards, and if you know the deck very well, if you know what the dealer, every time what cards they're dealing, the numbers, all of that going on in your head, I think it would be very, very difficult to do. I wouldn't even try it. I could, even if I tried, I don't think I could. But
Huh.
some people have gone away with that, and I guess some people haven't. They've gone caught and whacked, let's say. Uh, but very interesting watch. I would suggest that to go watch it. 21, I think you said, or Blackjack 21 with Kevin
Yeah.
Spacey. That's the actor. Very good movie, and you can kind of actually see in that movie some of what we talked about today right now with gambling. You know, the all the emotions that come through with it. So that's a very interesting watch.
It is interesting. It very much is. And, it should be considered if you want like an end all be all sort of statement of what gambling really is that it's really a place to have emotional thrill. You're not really there to make a living there. You're there, ideally, you're with some group of guys or girls, and you play to make money. And the emotions of either winning or losing, that sort of volatile spike in emotions, whether you win or lose, which can happen both in one night, like Thai Express said, is why people do it. And if you really are there, at least be aware that that's the case and that's why it is. But addictions do happen, and man, I think people have ruined their lives with gambling. And now with all this online stuff, dude, how much more will it be? Guy two, do you think gambling is here to stay?
I'll be honest, I don't really care about gambling. What?
Hey, advertisement right there.
I've
Stay
never
away.
I've never tried.
Stay away.
I don't know what it is. So I'm not gonna speak of it. I can't even say if it's bad or good. I don't know. But you know what is bad? That we can agree is when people switch, and that happens a lot in celebrities.
Would you say
Especially-
before you say what you say? Sorry to cut you off, guy. Too. Would you say that in a way when you're
Fuck!
entering a casino, when you're entering
We
a
ain't done here,
casino
guy two.
and you're
I
gambling,
don't want to talk about it.
are
Yes,
you?
it's
Would you
important.
say when you're gambling you're selling your soul? Would you say that's a thing? Or maybe
No.
guy one? Would you say that that's a
No.
thing?
No.
Selling your soul is completely different because when you sell your soul, ideally there's a reward. With gambling, there's no reward. Ideally.
Well, in the case, let's say that you are getting that reward and you keep feeding off of that reward, and your only incentive to keep gambling is because you keep getting a reward. So you're kind of becoming a slave to that reward. You only keep gambling because you're
Okay.
getting that reward.
Yeah,
You see-
yeah, I guess that's true because a lot of people have ruined relationships by gambling. They'll, like you said, take a car loan on their car, sell their house, and have hopes, which ideally is not the case you want to be. And people do that is when they do that stuff in the casino, they will cut people off. They'll be like, "Oh, well, this guy doesn't agree with what I think. Okay, I'm not gonna talk to him." Meanwhile, the guy who he cut off is like, "Dude, what is wrong with this guy? Is he have an addiction? Is he insane?" And it's funny because I think the mind of a gambler is much different than the mind of a person that doesn't really think. Like someone like Guy Two, pussy, doesn't gamble. He does not see it the way like a gambler does.
I'm sorry, I don't have cool friends. That's my problem. I don't have cool. What? I'm gonna go alone? Fuck. Fuck.
It's okay. I don't go to the casino a lot too. Let's be real here. I ain't gonna go ever again though.
Nah, he goes every fucking weekend. He's lying. Guy one is the biggest capster.
That's why I got this, eh?
What's the relationship with what I just said?
I'm a gambler. Am I a gambler? You know what though? I do like the topic of selling your soul. I think
In a way, we all gamble with our lives some way or somehow.
yeah, there's always risk, right? But you
Let's
want a
transition now.
calculated
Let's
risk.
transition. Let's transition.
All right, tell me your best transition. Show me how we're gonna transition, Guy Two.
Thai Express, do your transition while I say it.
Okay, wait. So you say transition, and then you
Are we
you,
talking
you
about
wanna
gender
transi-
transition or?
Yeah, like
Uh,
what exactly are we transitioning into?
Well,
Or
basically, you brought up the topic of selling your soul, and a lot of people tend to sell their soul once they make it, and a lot of those people tend to
And
be
why is that?
well. Okay, so basically, the people that we know that sell their souls are celebrities, because the rest of the people were, they might have sold their souls, but we don't know who they are, right? Let's say if Andrew Tate never
Corrupt people.
exactly, Andrew Tate never became famous. Well, I'm not saying he sold his soul, right? I'm just saying if he never became famous, we would never know of the things he's done, right? So many people have sold their souls, yet we don't know who they are. We don't even know they exist. But celebrities, that is very, very clear. We can talk about basically the glorification of like demonization. Can I even say that? The glorification of demonization.
That sounds so insane that
But
when you hear that from an
fact,
outside perspective, the glorification of demonization,
damn, that
that just
actually makes
sounds
sense. But
so
it's
weird.
weird. It's so weird. Yeah, well, I had to say it twice. Basically, Doja
Why would
Cat.
they glorify something so evil?
Well,
The glorification of evil, pretty
basically,
much.
yeah, they're trying to get religion out of people's mind. They're trying to make you like as atheist as possible. They're trying to basically
Wow.
make
So
you
you're telling me,
think that every single religion, let's say Christ, which is Christ, Allah, um, all of the rest, they're these guys are the bad guys. So demons are fine. Those guys are okay, right? You can dress up as a demon, but if you dress as Christ, that's not good.
Now,
wow.
here's the thing, guy, too. And it's interesting that you bring this up. This industry, like all these industries where all these famous celebrities come from, Hollywood, the music industry,
Bollywood.
they reject the idea of God in general. They reject Christ. They reject all religions. They God doesn't exist pretty much for them, right? But then you have to ask yourself, why is it that if they reject God so much, what is the end point of them glorifying, praising, promoting all this demon stuff, all this evil, satanic specifically, and that is obviously prominent or coming from a worldview that there is a God? Why would they push this idea or agenda so much if there is no God? If if that doesn't exist, if we're just living on a world where we came from a big poof and we were all goo once and we've come from evolution and from billions of years living on the earth. What is the end point? Why? You have to ask yourself why. Why are they pushing this so much,
Well, it's very
specifically?
clear though. It's clear. Do you have some? You're gonna say something though, guy one, before.
Yeah. Um, the idea is that we have these people in Hollywood, right? And that's a source of what people look up to. They're like, oh, I want to be an actor. Oh, it's so famous and stuff. And the people who sell their souls, they are basically having their freedom taken away by actually, instead of having a positive message, the things that we talk about, like sticking and believing and fearing God and having good moral and principles and worshiping what's well, they're doing the opposite and they're demoralizing themselves, letting what Hollywood wants to purport and encourage that for their own benefit, which harms everyone, harms themselves and harms the audience, and takes you away from the whole idea of what you want to do in life, which I just find is crazy. But I know that's such a big topic and there's many things to talk about, but I just want viewers to really keep in mind that these people in Hollywood are really selling themselves for whatever it is, fame, clout, money, to really allow what Hollywood wants, which is to make you an atheist by worshiping the demon, and we'll talk about the people there. So, whenever you see things like that, you always need to think there's a reason behind it. They don't normally do this just for fun. There's a reason why they've changed. Before they were famous, to when they were famous, and you see when they were normal, and when you see the devil.
Yeah, and this also kind of goes with the new world, woke world that has become. There's the you see all these pictures, the before and after. People turn into this woke person and this woke personality, and it's always the same. It's like they're entering a cult. They look super normal. They look, you know, they look well, healthy, and once they become woke, once they sign that contract, once they sell their soul, they all look the same. They look like literal demons sometimes. One of the biggest, and latest uh, personas that has done this is Doja Cat. And I'm sure to all our
Oh my
viewers,
goodness.
they know who this person is. She is everywhere. She is everywhere. And she has literally sold her soul. And she has demonstrated so and so so much that
And then some.
she plainly she says it out in public. She doesn't care. A lot of
But
people say, oh, it's her persona, it's her personality. She's, being all quirky and silly because she doesn't care and she does what he wants. Um,
wait. Sorry to cut you off. I don't know if you got.
yes.
Did I don't know if I sent any of you. Oh no, I didn't. Okay.
Are
I
you on your
guess
phone?
yeah, because I'm trying to find something related to this. There was a clip of like again, it could be AI generated because you know how for like artists they're making them they're using their voice and they're making songs
Hmm.
with their voice, right? I found one of Kanye saying Illuminati killed his mom, Illuminati took my wife, and now I can't find the song. I was trying to find that song, but it was like it's again it could be AI generated, but the reason it's funny that I can't find it now, even on YouTube.
I mean,
Uh,
listen, here are some of the lyrics of what one of the most popular Doja Cat songs after she sold her soul. The
yeah, cause
song is called, wait, 1 second. The song
yeah,
is called Paint the Town Red. Paint the Town Red. They're obsessed with that color, by the way, red.
it is a nice
Yeah.
color.
See, this is the beginning. It says, walk on by. 4 times it says it. Walk on by 4 times. And it says, yeah, bitch, I said what I said.
Mm,
I'd rather be famous instead.
mm.
I let that I let all that get to my head. I don't care. I painted down red. Bitch, I said what I said. I'd rather be famous instead. So what is that implying exactly too? It's like she's literally saying publicly, I mean, yeah, once, I did this, I signed this contract and I said what I said. But I care so much about the fame. I don't care about the repercussions or problems that I had before. I paint the town red, meaning like it's like fuck it. Whatever happens, as long as I'm famous.
Yeah. Man.
But yeah, cause
Speechless.
first got introduced to Doja Cat in FIFA 15, and she had a really nice song. It was called Purple Light. It was like this innocent, FIFA type music, and look at her now,
Do you
making
think
songs about demons,
do you
and
think do you think this could all be orchestrated?
like a gimmick.
They purposely get these celebrities early on and they make them all sweet and nice and all
No,
naive
no.
and innocent, and that's like their plan from the beginning. They want to see like, oh, look at this sweet innocent person, has a beautiful voice, great artist, everybody loves them. Let me turn them into this absolutely demonic figure that people will hate later on, but we don't care what you think about it because we're gonna promote her everywhere. So it's like they're taking something you love, something people like, and completely destroying it purposely. Do you think there is an evil agenda that could do that, or that is happening right now?
Yeah, I do think so. And one way to actually point that out without giving the direct obvious is why is it so popular now with all these evil agendas when it comes to, at least in the West, with the whole idea of taking people away from God and worship devils like this, is why is it so popular now? And back in the 70s, 80s, 90s, we didn't have that whatsoever. At least it was not big at all.
Well, we
You
don't know that though. We don't know that.
you
So
you, you, you don't have it as a mainstream thing, at least.
everything is because everything now is televised. Before, I promise you, if there was like something like social media where everything was being kept, there there was for sure like a part of demonization, like culture going on. It just
I'm sure
probably
there
got
was, but I'm just talking about the rates, at least from back then till now,
yeah
or even maybe even 10 years ago till now.
yeah.
You don't have that sort of sudden spike, and I'm seeing it all over. I don't know about you guys, but you see all these artists,
Yeah,
which
But
correct.
but
they're
I
talking
just
about now.
the thing is though, I think I know how it kind of works. I have a hypothesis. So
What's your hypothesis?
basically, let's say us three, okay? We're nobodies right now. No, like let's say the higher up.
That's not true. We're the number one podcast in the world.
Yeah,
True,
bro, what are
true.
you talking about?
But
Guy two.
besides that, like just being us like three together or something, okay? But let's say me as a guy too, nobody, okay? But as soon as we start to get like basically either have more power such as fame or money, we get to basic like we get introduced to them. Now they know who you are, okay? So now they're going to start watching what you do until you slip off. Like let's say they'll try to find a way to contact you, or they'll wait until you fuck up and they'll basically give you like a contract. Listen, I'll let you get back in this business, but you got to give me this instead. Again, this is a hypothesis. Let's say what's going on with Andrew Tate, okay? He is being why like in the podcast he's making, he's saying that he's being attacked by the Matrix, right? Who's the Matrix? We don't know. But what we know, it's like a team of people that control a lot of things that go around in the world, and they don't like that Tate is staying like basically he's against them and he's like kind of blocking their path. So, but that's because Tate is a big figure, and other people like him who are known, who have power, who have influence, then they're gonna attack them, or they're gonna basically find a way to have them in their side, right?
So what you're kind of saying is that Andrew Tate, and I know a lot of people will agree on this, he's a big enough influential figure that can influence a lot of the younger masses specifically. That's where the most power is at, the younger generations, the future
More
generations.
powerful generation as well.
Exactly. So the Matrix, as we say, they see Andrew Tate and they see how big he is and they see all this influence that he's putting into the future generations. For the Matrix, that's like their future souls to take, or future customers, or future
Oh yeah, customers,
employees to
exactly.
take.
Consumers.
So when they can't control someone like Tate, it's kind of getting in the way of their agenda. And that's why he's getting all these matrix attacks, as he says.
Yeah.
So is that kind of what you're saying?
Yeah, and like basically what happens is, let's say one of us, okay, we get power, we do something they don't like, okay, they'll try to get us to basically step back, be like, okay, listen, if you continue, I'm gonna basically kill your family, or I'm gonna make your family disappear, okay?
Ruin your life.
Because they won't kill your family, they want to make it low-key as fuck. They'll either try to poison you, right, because they don't want you to die, because then you'll die as a hero. So they'll try to blackmail you, because let's say right now if they kill Andrew Tate, he's gonna become a martyr, right? So they can't do that. What they're gonna do, they're gonna start accusing him of a rapist, of a sexual abuse, like basically a sexual predator, blah blah blah, anything they can find, like the tiniest thing. But that's what they're gonna do to you too. So they're gonna basically, I believe right now, everything, your phone, all of these devices, they're being recorded. right? And one day they're gonna use this shit. So let's say one day you are an important person that they want to get rid of. They'll basically make a team of people to dive into your life, everything you've done since you were a kid, and find every little oopsie that you did, and they're gonna use that against you. Anything. Let's say I don't know. I don't want to give an example, but it could be anything.
I understand fully, and I think people with common sense, people
No, they
alive
think they
now that
no.
still have somewhat common sense, but listen, hear me out, because when you
They
say
think it's
this,
a
when you talk
conspiracy.
like this, exactly, people will look at you crazy. People
Like
will say, "Well,
you're
what's your
fucked.
evidence? Well,
You're fucked.
what are your sources? What's your evidence? Where do you get this from? What this and that? You're a conspiracy theorist. This would never happen. This is crazy. This is crazy talk." What you're saying, that the government would never do this. There's no such thing as a matrix. But the people that still have somewhat of a brain and common sense, and some might say not everything needs to be like sugar coated, guy in a lab punching in the numbers. Not
Yeah.
everything needs to be all the statistics and the data and the information. Like, some things are just common sense. You have to connect the dots by yourself sometimes, and you have to understand, like, okay, you have to see the patterns, understand the patterns, and you're like, okay, well, there's certain group of people, there's certain government, there's certain people that are elite or very wealthy. They have a pattern of lying, of destroying, of committing crimes, of getting away with bad stuff, and doing a lot of suspicious stuff. And it's throughout generations. You're like, okay, well, maybe again. Oh, but I'm a crazy person talking. I'm just saying
Yeah,
maybe they
that's what
could
they'll
be
think.
doing this shit because I'm
Yeah.
I'm just connecting the dots here.
Yeah. And one cool thing that I think trips a lot of people out is when we hear the term Matrix and people say, "Oh, it can't be real." The
Stop
fact
watching those
that, yeah,
TikToks.
it's like, "Oh, I can't see it." Well, my friend,
TikTok
that's
clip
why
right
the
here.
Matrix works. If you could see it, or if there was whatever, like a physical thing for it, and the government is showing you, "Oh, here, this is what I'm doing," then there wouldn't be a Matrix. But that's the whole idea. You're within this whole conception of Matrix, and it's really all these agendas, like we're saying, with the people in power. They're purporting these ideals, and you, as a young people, ideally, and maybe some old folks that are watching us, should just be aware of the things being told to you and ask yourself, is this information in my best interest?
Correct. Very well way to put it. And going back to guy two, you had a hypothesis about, Andrew Tate. I have also a more general hypothesis, and it's very simple. And basically, this matrix or this new world order, I prefer to say this new world order because this is what it's becoming, and it has to do with several big organizations like the World Health Organization, the United Nations, all these big organizations like Big Pharma. They're kind of getting together and creating this new world order. One of the destructive things about their agenda, and again, it's about connecting the dots, right? So everything is interlinked. This, satanic Hollywood, the satanic media, or this lying media, this far left agenda. And I'm not saying like the left is bad and the right is the right answer, or left versus right politics. No, forget about that. I'm just saying this is an extreme group of people. There are people on the left that are very good, as well as there will be people on the right that are bad. Because in general, in my opinion, I think the New World Order or the Matrix, whatever you want to call it, controls both at the end of the day. So that's the thing. Whether you're on team A or B, there's no really the right way or path. The even the good guys might actually be bad behind the scenes. But back to my hypothesis is that one of the destructive things about their agenda is destroying the family unit. And again, I say
And
all
why
this
is
is
that?
interlinked. And why is that? Well, some might say that they want to put control into this world. They want to have all the control into this world. They don't want to have anything in their way, anything that they cannot control in their say so. They want to make sure that every single decision that is taken in this world, and that's why this new world order is getting pushed so much. They want a one world government, a one world currency, a cashless society. They want everything tracks. They want microchips in our head. They want chips on our palms. So when we do transaction with the palm of our hand, they want that tracked. Everything they want it tracked.
It's all going to that.
Wait,
People
And
might
it's all
think it's
going to
crazy.
that.
do you guys
Yeah,
think
so
Elon Musk is in it?
yeah, he might very well be, and I
To
kind
get
of
in
think
that
he is.
position, you don't just get lucky. You need
Yes.
to know the right ways to get there, and I'm sure he's very smart enough to
Yeah,
know
so,
that.
so basically one of the ways that if let's say if I was the devil, if I was the big evil man and I wanted to control the world, the first thing I would tackle is the family unit. You got to start from the cord, from the seed. You got to make sure, the family unit there's a fatherless families or even fatherless or motherless families. You got to make the men less men, you got to make them feminized. And more importantly,
Okay.
you attack the women as well. You make the term woman not even valuable anymore. You say, well, no, woman, actually, anybody can be a woman. So the woman is being attacked, the man is being feminized, the family unit is seen as extreme now. Specifically the nuclear family is seen as extreme now. Having kids is a no-no.
It's a
So
sin.
when you're destroying that, you're destroying the whole society. And they're
Yep.
doing this by pushing all this garbage onto the world. All the things we see on social media, music, TV,
The
everywhere.
whole idea to just disconnect from having a loving family is very
Exactly.
apparent, and the
It's
whole
sad.
idea
It's sad.
is for you to be aware.
Yeah, it's about getting us disconnected, and at the same time, so goddamn connected to our technology. We're becoming so dumbed down to where our brain will only function within our fingertips. The only thing that we will do is know how to text on our phones. That's all we will do.
Well,
That's almost as where we're heading, where we're only going to be these like dumb beings that are going to be on our phones and computers 24/7. None of us are going to touch grass anymore in the future. Who knows if there will be a future with grass, who knows? But it's not heading in a pretty direction.
we can actually like safely say that after COVID, that's what they were kind of aiming for. They were trying to reduce the socialization with people. They're trying to make everything digital, right?
Yeah.
Even the classrooms became digital, right? And I'm not complaining because it was perfect. You could cheat, you could sleep, but it's you became so I personally forgot how to socialize with people, and it especially phones nowadays. I basically, let's say I'm just walking or I'm you know I'm in the public transport. Okay, let's just say, right? You see a bunch of people with their phones, and everyone is just walking. Like I'm also guilty of this, but like everyone's on their phone, and it makes me sick. It makes me so sick. That's what people are doing. Like and this is the new generation, right? Phones haven't been out for that long. Imagine in 20 years.
Yeah,
Like
you're right.
imagine kids that basically since they were not born, since they were born, like iPhones existed, right? It's becoming a problem more and a bigger problem more and more. And did you have something to say, Kaiwan?
Yeah, no, I just wanted to say that the people who grew up on this is their whole way of thinking. The whole social media thing, and oh, I'm listening to these people as my information. And this trend is only going to go up more, which is even scarier. So the problems we have now might be even worse in the future. And that's the real scary part, is what information is being taught to the younger generation.
Because in history, they talk about this guy who, let's say, who saved this village. He was like he was a hero, right? Let's say this guy, or like let's say the king who defeated this other country and took over, conquered, right? In a way, all these influencers that are speaking against the Matrix, they're kind of doing that, right? For in the future generations, they're going to be known, right? They're going to be known as someone who stood up. And if you think about it, this is a type of war. Basically, it's just the enemy. We don't know who they are, which is very scary. Which is the one of the hardest
Yep.
things to basically play against. It's
Like here's a very, very funny point, and this is sort of a branch, but let's look at the President of the United States, Joe Biden. He doesn't look like he can survive by himself for 2 days, yet he's running the biggest country in the world. Do
But
you
yeah.
really think he's
is
doing
he
that by
running?
himself?
That's the thing. Is he running it though, or is he just a
Absolutely not.
puppet? Is he
Definitely
just a
not.
puppet?
He
Absolutely
cannot
not.
run on himself. Do you think he writes his tweets?
He
No,
tweets?
no.
I don't know. He
Well-
tweets.
Well,
Dude, he has like 4 paragraphs with like research articles and pictures every time he posts. I'm like, buddy, you can't even speak on conferences yet. You're having this. Like it's definitely something behind, and I think Thai Express can
Yeah.
talk about that briefly
Yes.
before we move on.
Please do, Ty.
no, it's very true. A president of one of the biggest, if not the biggest, nations on planet Earth. So that basically makes you one of the most important or influential or most powerful people on planet Earth, and who can't even get through a sentence, or that is stumbling, mumbling down with their words. They don't even know where they're standing. Sometimes they seem lost. This is not someone who acts or looks like a leader. It looks more like a puppet that is there to just serve the higher ups, and acts as a a link or a connection for the people, and will say the nice, pretty, correct things
He's a
to
distraction.
please a certain group of people. Exactly, a serve as well as a distraction. But again, saying all these things will make you crazy, a conspiracy theorist, a mad talker. There's no need, no need for common sense, no need for doing your own research. This is not allowed anymore, basically. So you have to listen, you have to obey, do what you're told, and don't do your own research. This is what they want from you.
And I want to say something. I want to also ask the questions for you guys. In my experience, it's always been the females who have a strong belief that these conspiracies don't exist. They would basically say you're crazy, and I've only seen like girls argue against me saying I'm crazy. No guy has ever tried to deny or say I'm
Well,
crazy.
I
And-
solved your answer. Ready?
Yes.
Yeah.
Women, biologically,
Mm-hmm.
are more emotional creatures than men.
Mm-hmm.
So when you are given a statement that seems so, like just mind-boggling to them initially, which people, don't really know this stuff, and then they might not. It's gonna offset emotionally to them, like, oh wait, well I've been taught this my whole life, and if my logic should be right, and I shouldn't operate under someone else's because then I won't even know if I'm right or not. A lot of people have sort of this like closed-minded, like I'm right, and this just does not feel weird, so I'm gonna reject it. And
Yeah.
a lot of females sort of push that and don't really hear the other side, and that's just because they're emotional creatures. Men really are more like straight down, like yo, what's up, bro, and they'll listen to your point. You know what I mean? Like even if it's
Yeah.
not right, and that's because
Unless-
they're more logically oriented.
Yeah, unless it's one of those feminized men that will obviously
Oh,
think and act
Yeah.
like a woman and agree with
them.
every single woman.
yeah.
But
Yeah,
also,
the they thems as well. Yeah,
I think for the if
You
I
have to include them. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah.
them. Yeah, have to
But,
include them.
For the female audience or the listeners, I would say it's okay to disagree with your man, right? That's normal, but don't shut his idea down. Just give it a thought.
I think being open-minded in anything,
exactly. Just
any
be
guy or
open-minded.
girl.
It's
Yeah.
okay to disagree. It's okay to think your own way, but it's not okay to
Yeah.
basically shut off the other person's argument right away. That's one of the that is basically something you need to work on, because even if something sounds crazy or stupid, especially if it's coming from a loved one, you should consider how you're gonna formulate your sentence against it. That's
Yeah.
anyways. Let's talk about
sometimes
Yeah.
emotions are good at certain times, but most of the times you will need to set those aside and think logically, which for most women is harder to do. It's not impossible, but it is harder to do. And that is, like a guy once said, is something biological. They are emotional creatures. Us men tend to be more logical, but also us men, we tend to be more savages at times. I mean,
we need to be.
most
You need
most
to
war I mean wars are started by men at the end of the day. Diplomacy is always left secondhand sometimes, and we act with anger or brute force. So none of us are perfect beings at the end of the day.
We're all
And,
human, right?
I am.
yeah, we're
I
all
am.
human.
Kinda,
We are perfect imperfections created by God.
we're
And-
imperfectly perfect.
Imperfectly perfect.
Correct.
That's a good way,
We
but-
are a perfect creation.
Now let's
That
talk about
we've-
9/11.
Ooh. Should we should we talk about 9/11? Or I do want to ask you guys this one question. Do you believe, since we're talking about male and females, do you guys believe, and girls, we don't know if any of us are guys or girls, we're meant to be mysterious. That's the whole idea.
Yeah, I don't know what I identify as. You know what I'm saying?
To
I
be
mean, I would
honest,
prefer for
might
guy one
change
and guy two to be
next year.
women, because I'm attracted to women. I don't know if guy one and guy two are women, but
I mean,
their voices
speaking
seem
about-
to signal
statistically,
that they're men.
statistically, every person I've linked up with tends to be a woman. Now, call me a feminist.
interesting fact.
Interesting fact. Yeah.
Well, speaking about attraction, there's a lot of things circulating online, and I want to hear your guys' opinion and girls' opinion. I don't know what we are. Is that, do you think men who are jacked and ripped, is that a body type that women like?
Okay. You might. Okay, if ever someone thinks guys don't like, or basically not. Let me reformulate. On the internet.
Okay, Playboy.
On the internet, sometimes girls like to say, "Oh, I don't like the jack guy. I don't like a fit guy, right? I like a dad bod." Why is that? You might say. And interestingly, most of the cases is because the woman likes to basically have the control, have a higher power in the relationship, meaning they like to know that my man cannot get better than me, right? And for a jack guy, a guy who is more fit, statistically, it's easier for him to get girls. So now the girl is gonna become jealous. She's gonna be more protective. She's gonna basically try more. She has to try to keep the man happy, right? That might be why they like to say a dad bod, basically a guy that's good looking in their standards, but that's not as well put together, so that he could never find better than me, right? He cannot just go and cheat. So that's why I think they might be like, oh yeah, I like a dad bod. I like a guy who's chill, who's not too
Interesting, yeah.
intense.
Yeah, because they know they
that's a
can't
lie,
really
though.
have
But
the
that's a
handle of
lie.
that. But I think that's the other way up for men as well. Like when men say, "Oh, I like fat chicks," I think that's the same thing with men with dad bods. It's like, no, not really. I feel like most women have it that way as well. Like that's not necessarily a desired attractive body type. And if you see on magazines, right? And the reason why I'm asking, and we'll hear Ty express his opinion, I just want to put mine first, is in magazines, right? 10 years ago, who is on the front cover of these Sports Illustrated magazines? Ripped, good-looking, fit women for the women's side, and men, jacked, good-looking, chiseled men.
Yeah.
Right.
And yeah, you would see especially all these big brands.
Now it's changing.
All these big brands especially like let's say the underwear or lingerie for women.
Yeah, Calvin
Um,
Klein.
Calvin Klein, yeah, there's a very popular photo of a Calvin Klein ad
If we
of what
can,
it was
if
before. It was
editor, if
actually
we can
with a
show it.
famous actor. Yeah, we'll show it right here. It's Mark Wahlberg, with a supermodel, and they both, they're very fit, good looking, in shape. Uh, the woman is thin, not anorexic, but is thin, is in shape, and the man is not is not super bulky, but like very a standard fit, like almost, I'm not gonna say perfect, but it was a very fit body, and they compared it to a later ad from I think 2018, 19, or 2020. I'm not sure. Of again Calvin Klein, the same company. How drastic the change is. It was I think a fat man that looked like a woman, and it was then with another woman that looked like a man. It's very weird. It's very odd. It wasn't pleasant to see. I don't know how that you could see it as advertisement. I don't know what you're trying to advertise exactly. The whole point of an advertisement is to show something good. Show something that you want to sell or promote, that might be beneficial to audiences. And I don't know exactly what is beneficial or is good to look at out of a fat woman with hair everywhere, or a fat man with lipstick on, that looks all disgusting, and it's nothing attractive, nothing pretty about that, or nothing that will, let's say, a young man trying to get through puberty ages, or in his early young adult ages, will look at an advertisement like that and say, wow, I want to be like that, I want to have that kind of body. That
That's
looks
the standard, right?
They
Like
look so
that's
happy.
the epitome of like
Yeah.
what you want to achieve. And it just
I
makes no sense for people to say, oh, or women, at least from the internet, which is a very weird selection, is, oh, I don't want to get a guy like that. We know the real underlying truths, and we've discussed why at length.
Yeah,
uh,
that's correct. That's correct. So basically, we can kind of conclude that while guy two
Alright.
is
Good point,
tripping
guy
on,
too.
on his,
Really,
on
really
his
well
thought,
said. Really well said. I really
yeah,
applaud
I
you.
agree
for,
with that guy too. But I think we cannot conclude with kind of all the topics that we've had through this podcast. I mean, this episode has focused a lot
Whoa, 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 whoa! You're missing the main topic for tonight.
I'm not closing. I'm just saying that a lot of these topics kind of
Stay tuned.
have
but
Stay
wait,
tuned.
thumbnail.
pointed at a certain
Let me grab
theme.
this.
There's been a certain theme going on in this episode, and it's kind of negative things about this world that are being pushed. But how can we make it better? But you said we are
9/11.
getting to
We didn't
wanna...
talk about 9/11.
How can it make it better? And then we just talk about a crazy event that unfortunately killed thousands of people. But before we go into that, I do want to talk about Ty Express's point
okay.
as Guy One, as a representative of this.
I just want to
podcast.
say, before you say that, I just want to say we have only time for maybe one more topic, because we don't want to expand, or what is it called, override our...
Hey, how do you
While
do?
he's
There's
fixing
a
his
viewer
grammar.
right now that's super engaged. Don't turn him
Yeah,
off.
as he's
Fuck
fixing
you,
his
fuck
grammar.
you, viewer. Fuck you, viewer. Suck my dick.
All right,
Fuck you.
I apologize
Okay.
for our co-host. He is
Apologies
very
for our
immature.
co-host. He's a little bit homosexual, apparently. We will make sure that he prays 5 times tomorrow and repent for his sins.
Yep, fully agree.
You were gonna say,
I'm gonna need some
guy
holy
one?
water.
Yeah, but the whole idea is, yeah, like these negative things. But the reason why this podcast is important is for you to really look at why these things happen and look at the truths, right? And this is a mystery because people don't look at it. And as we speak and talk,
Hence mystery
get-
talk.
the walk.
Yeah.
That was so
Yeah, I
shit.
try to make it sound. Nice. All right, 9/11. What's up with that?
It did sound nice. You know what's
Really?
crazy?
Really?
I was saying
Yeah, I
how
appreciate that, Ty.
This podcast
You're
has
the man.
I was saying this
He's
podcast has a
he's
theme of
lying.
negative things, and we're jumping into a 9/11 topic. But here's the actually crazy part about 9/11. Even though it was such a tragedy,
I was
it was
there.
actually one of the few moments
Shut up.
in
I
you
swear,
know,
bro.
in general, one of these few events that were so tragic that actually brought a lot of people together. Like
Yes,
the
all around the
country was
world.
very, very, yeah, all around the world,
At the same
and the
time.
United States was very, very
Let's do it
united
again.
at that point.
Stop. Guy one, I need you to shut the fuck up. You were not there, and we'll not do it again.
I was I don't remember where I was. I was a baby back then. Although
Guy
I did
two,
hear,
how were
I
you
did
there?
hear
Can
stories.
you please explain to me how you were there? I don't
Yeah,
understand.
how were you there? Were you on the plane, guy too? What exactly?
No, I was like getting my Starbucks of the
You were
day.
getting
Okay.
your Starbucks?
Yeah, I was getting my Starbucks. I was using
Oh.
the public transport like a degenerate fuck. And
Wait, so
I get
you
off
were
the
in the
metro.
public transport.
Wait,
So
wait,
were you
wait.
there? Were you at the scene? Were you
I
like
was-
taking the public transport? You were going to the Twin
Oh,
Towers
man.
with your Starbucks? What exactly?
I was-
Can you explain?
I was basically driving, and I was in the public transport, and then
I saw
Alright.
this post talking about what actually happened with 9/11. I think this is a good sort of introduction to this topic because Guy 2's story does not add up. I don't think
Yeah.
you were.
I can't connect the dots here.
Yeah,
I was
I
there.
can't. Like, are we on the subway, train, and you said you know the guy, and you said he survived. I don't know, but the thing is a lot of people don't really know. Okay, buddy. Okay, Guy 2. The reason why this whole 9/11 topic is very interesting now, and it's really got a lot of importance, is that people don't really know what really conspired. Like, people are asked, college kids in America, oh, who did the 9/11? And you have the stupidest answers ever. You'll hear, oh, ISIS, or oh, it was Osama bin Laden
Hitler.
himself.
It was terrorists.
But what really went down? Ty, give me a rundown of this whole situation.
So yeah, people say, you know, it was they like to point at the Middle Easterns. It was terrorists. It was Osama bin Laden, ISIS, these terrorist groups. Now, there's one thing that's somewhat correct about this. It was a terrorist attack. It was a terrorist event, but it wasn't. The actual perpetrators were not from a certain category or what do you call it? This stereotype that, you know, Middle Easterns are terrorists and they like to blow up shit. So
but it's kind of true.
now,
I don't think it's true.
Why?
I
Is it
will.
because you're offended?
No, I think that people who
sorry.
are terrorists are fucking. Yeah, we're definitely cutting this out.
Yeah.
Well,
I'll be
I
honest.
think we're.
Whoa! Whoa! Whoa!
Oh,
Whoa!
why would you call him a neighbor?
No, he didn't say that. I don't know what
I
you're
love
talking
him.
about, Ty. I love you too,
You
bro.
said neighbor.
Um,
Anyways, what I was saying, back to what I was saying, because I was asked for my opinion and I was answering. It was a terrorist event, but it wasn't terrorists as people mark it out to be, like the typical, stereotypical, you know, Middle Eastern, you know, brown colored person, you know, with a beard, that, you know, basically with bomb jacket and everything. Okay, it wasn't that. It wasn't that at all, actually. The perpetrators of this tragic terrorist event, and again, I'm a crazy person talking, so we'll put a disclaimer here.
Disclaimer.
We'll pull a disclaimer.
Conspiracy fuck.
Theory about to happen. It was actually the same leaders of the goddamn country
Jews. Those goddamn
That-
Jews.
that
What?
committed these acts.
Mm.
I don't know. Guy two, do you need a glass of water? Do you need a...
Are you okay, buddy? He's been acting up like real
I'm
strange
mad.
recently.
I'm fucking mad. I'm just.
Why? Do
Who
you
are you
know
mad
that
at?
9/11 is not as simple as it sounds?
Listen, buddy.
There's
Listen, buddy. My
a lot
girlfriend
of.
of 8 years just broke up with me. I have nothing to lose.
So I just want to
All
do.
right, buddy.
I just want to
Do
say something
not
here.
do not think anything
By the way,
terroristically. All right, buddy.
I just
Where's
want to
my
say
knife?
something here, and it's going to be very interesting to my point. Why do people think that it was the same leaders that committed this act? Basically, the conspiracy theory is, well, and this also they kind of needed an excuse also, right, to go to war with Iraq and all these Middle Eastern countries. That's why they committed this terrorist attack, right? Um, there's a very interesting picture, and we're gonna pull it up here, editor. There's a very interesting picture of George W. Bush. It's a painting, actually, not a picture. But we'll pull up the picture, but it's a painting.
And who owns this painting?
And so I'm not actually sure who owns this painting. Maybe Guy One, you can weigh in, but there's a painting of George W. Bush holding
cares?
a paper plane. And this is before the event. Holding a paper plane. There's two Jenga towers collapsed on the ground.
No
He's
way.
sitting cross-legged with a paper plane in his hand. You know, I was like, oh, silly, you know, silly. And what a interesting painting, by the way. What an interesting painting to have of a president of the biggest nation on earth.
Plane.
Yes, president, plane, two twin towers collapsing. Right before the event, right? So we're gonna pull that up so the viewers can see it.
And what's very interesting,
Yes.
I really need you to all listen to this. Everyone listening, your parents, everyone, kids. Jeffrey Epstein had a painting of that very
You're
picture.
right. Yeah, I had forgotten, but you're completely correct. You're completely correct about that. Yeah, it was Jeffrey Epstein, a very important figure too, in this political realm.
Of sort of what we call conspiracies.
Yes. So there's a lot of, again, suspicious things about this event that there's a growing number of people that are starting to disbelieve that it was terrorists that, terrorists from Middle East that made this happen. But when people started digging into the information from that day, from 9/11, from the moment that it happened, people starting digging up, the records, as in the recordings. People started telling their stories, their sides of the stories, the audio recordings of policemen, of the firefighters that were in the scene. That there's real recordings, the news media, the news outlets that are talking about the event, and I'm talking about specifically the smaller news media outlets that were also on the scene, not the big ones, because again, another suspicious thing, all the big media outlets had some very suspicious outplay going on during the event, where there is a part that it was this was nationwide that was being recorded, but there's a part where everything goes black for some reason. There is actually an edit of a person that took all these big media outlets, compiled all the videos, put them together in sync. There's a part where everything goes black, and it's when the plane is about to hit the tower, or one of the towers, sorry. But anyways, that's just one of the suspicious things that happened. The recordings, let's go back to that. There are people yelling that there's bombs going off inside the building. The distress calls calling from the police, saying the civilians that were inside the building, that they're yelling there's bombs going off. The firefighters saying on radio and on TV that they heard bombs before the plane is hitting. So why is there why would they say that? Why would they say they're hearing bombs going off? That is very odd from a massive steel building, very, very well constructed. And by the way,
Very
No
well
arch,
constructed. Yes, they're one of the
no
biggest towers in New
architect,
York.
no engineer in the world right now has an answer as to how that massively well-constructed building collapsed from a plane that is basically almost comparing uh how can I put it here? Like wood hitting rock almost, I would say. Wood is not gonna penetrate through rock the same way that plane was not gonna penetrate through those steel beams. And it's also they say, the conspiracies, or no, not the conspiracies, but the news media outlets, they say that the plane fell due to the golfing flames that was going on, and it basically turned into ash and it collapsed. Well, that's actually not possible. They've done research on this, and the steel beams had no way of melting, no way of actually burning down to ash and collapsing. There is footage and of other similar disastrous events of very tall buildings that had steel beams that were completely engulfed in flames. The before and after, the building still completely still. It just all dark, all because that's, I mean, that's what happens when it goes up in flames. It tends to be all dark at the end. But the twin towers, no, it completely collapsed. And it's not even that the planes hit at a very low part of the building where you would say, oh, you know what, it kind of collapsed into, some of the lowest parts of the building, that it took out some very important foundation, that it made the tower tilt and collapse. No, it was very high up. So it's very strange. It's very weird. Again, no architect nor engineer can answer this. It's impossible.
Yeah,
So,
and it's weird that big events like this should usually have an explanation, right?
and by the
And
way,
not much information. And
not
and yep.
and sorry, yeah, just one last thing, by the way, and maybe guy one, guy two, maybe you don't even know this, because the twin towers were not the only towers that fell that day. There were other buildings that fell. And I want some of the viewers to Google this right now. I think it was building 4 or building number 5. They say it's the building that just fell. I want you
Was
guys
it-
to Google that.
Was it near?
From 9/11, the building that just, it collapsed out of nowhere, and it
Same
was
day?
same day, and it was not even like right next to the twin towers. It was just building that fell, on its own.
Wow.
Uh,
No
so-
plane, right?
Sorry?
No plane crash at that
No,
site.
no plane crash, no nothing. It was just a building that collapsed.
Interesting.
Very
Wait.
coincidentally. Now, we start adding all these things up. The painting, the bomb hearings, the
We didn't
incredibly
talk about the
well metal
Pentagon.
structure just completely collapsing from fire. There's so many things that just nothing is adding up. So you're saying, okay, well, what's actually going on here? Was it actually terrorists from another part of the world that made this attack as an act of war? Is that what happened? And you start adding up all the numbers, and you're like, wait a second, I don't think that's what actually happened. And again, it just needs a little bit of common sense. Call me crazy.
Wait. I just saw a clip. Is this even the official clip? Like, not official, like official, but is it like even real? Do we even
clip?
see the plane? Like, wait.
So the clip thing, the thing that you're talking about, there's also one for the Pentagon. So the same day after
Oh, yeah.
the buildings collapse,
Oh yeah,
it did not look like a plane crash. And we can also pull up the clip of that.
yeah. It looked like a lot of people say it was a missile
Yeah.
that hit,
And we can look at that for you all to see.
Yeah, we're gonna pull it up
And make
right
you
here.
question why it happened.
Yeah, again, why? Well, one of the, again, conspiracy theories, right?
Right, this is
there
so
was,
abnormal to hear for normal people. They think it's a conspiracy, but
Yeah.
we're providing
for the
evidence.
open-minded people. Well, basically, this day, or I don't know if it was this day exactly, the Pentagon, right? They had mysteriously misplaced billions and billions of dollars,
Trillions.
trillions,
Three
sorry,
trillion
trillions
dollars.
of dollars. Like,
Mysteriously, how could that is literally impossible to lose trillions of dollars
yes,
mysteriously.
yes.
Statistically is impossible.
And again, another odd,
And no one's talking about
factor,
that.
another odd factor from this event that no one is talking about, that is just compiling onto the suspicious acts or factors for, this beautiful conspiracy theory, let's call it again. But I think we can all say with certainty, at least, that it was not the uh you know it was not the Alo Akbars that did this, um and it was actually a very, very evil group of people that control the world. And again, maybe we're talking about, again, because there's a theme with this podcast, right? It's the same. It's the Matrix again, as it was back then. It is now. The same group of people that were controlling back then, that are controlling now. Maybe they're the ones that orchestrated all this. The point is, why? Why would they do this to their own people? And why also trust a government that would do this to their own people?
I'll give you this point right here, Ty. What happened when 9/11 occurred? Well, Bush, the guy in the painting, who was drawn, him throwing the tower, said, "Oh, this was Iraq, and we're gonna fight them." And
Yeah,
what is the United States? Why have they been fighting Iraq and Afghanistan, all these countries in the Middle East? Why have they been fighting for 20 years there? They're bombing war-torn countries. They're bombing farmers. For what? For
children, families.
they're creating havoc. And how does that retaliate against this event that happened here for 9/11? Why is them sending bombs to farmers and destroying all their crops? Because it's the innocent people who are the ones that are really getting screwed here. Why
Yeah, but
is it that
again,
they're the ones, right? That's
guy,
a key
guy,
thing you
guy
should be
one.
thinking.
Well, watch out what you say. The USA is a very good saint country.
I'm just providing the
Uh,
facts.
the news media says that Putin is the bad man right here. They're invading Ukraine. He's very bad. So we gotta obey
There's
that.
just such a dichotomy, like Putin's the evil and Ukraine is heaven. And
Like, how are
we
these let's say low countries who have low economy, who have basically
yeah,
were
why would we want
farmers,
to invade them?
and wait, how do they have access to
And by
AR-15s
the
and like
way,
missiles? Where is
Yeah.
that coming from? You
And
know?
by the way, here's another interesting fact. The United States was also providing uh, the supplies and weapons. They basically created an army to then fight them later. So they supplied the enemy, quote unquote, with weapons and all this, to then
Huh.
later fight them. That's another
Doing
that's
the
another
same thing in
interesting.
Ukraine. They're giving them they're giving them weapons.
Yeah.
They're literally using tax money for that. And man, the untold stories of 9/11 with this stuff and the whole idea of like the explosion actually happening with the plane is ridiculous.
Yeah. So
Um, yeah.
unlike the media likes to say to all our audience right now, they don't want you to do this, but I want you to do this. Do your own research.
Of course, yeah.
Think
People
critically.
died, which is obviously an unfortunate event, but
Yes,
it's thinking what really happened.
Yeah.
correct.
And
Correct.
I think we should start concluding.
Yeah, and with that, yeah, you're right. I mean, there's a lot of bad things that go on in the world, and again, 9/11 was tragic, but it was at least a time that everyone was united for once, and it almost seems I mean, it's gonna sound very bad to say. It almost seems like we need another event like that for people to be united once again and get rid of this matrix. But no, that we need a better solution.
In some way, they're kind of trying though. They're trying that. They did that with Ukraine. They're doing that with other countries, but nothing as major. It needs to happen again in the States for it to be a big deal.
Yeah, there's a very, very big divide right now, and
yeah, the media really cares about the States. The rest of the world, nothing, because that's where like all the. It's kind of sounds stupid, but that's where all the like social like internet is. Other countries don't even have internet.
No,
they don't even have. They don't even have YouTube. They don't even have.
Yeah,
and
have
those are the
another-
places where wars are happening. They
Yeah.
indirectly, U.S. is creating these wars,
Yeah.
and I'm sure we'll have discussions moving forward in the Mystery Talk series about this. And leave a comment if you'd like to hear more about the
subscribe
US's
to stay
involvement.
tuned.
Subscribe. Thank you
You
for
know.
watching. Thank you for listening, and see you on the next one.
Yeah, and to end it on a good note, Guy 1 and Guy 2, do you have a positive message for the audience right now to
Yeah.
say?
Don't go to the strip club. Be a good guy.
Work
Be
on
open-minded and work out. Smile more, like Roman Atwood, and life will get better. I think as long as more people are aware and you're having conversations with friends and family about learning, the objective truth and evidence-based logic, you should be set for the rest of your life when it comes to whatever news happens. You will be good at the end of the day.
What about you, Ty?
Very
You
good,
have
very
something
good.
to add?
Go ahead, Guy 2.
No, you
Guy
go
two
ahead, Ty.
already said, bro.
I know. I did my
Okay.
ordeal. If you want
So, I just want to end it with after a fuck.
Thank you,
Okay,
guys.
well, that was your chance.
No.
All right, everybody.
No.
Stay tuned for next episode, number 6. We're gonna bring back some juicy topics, and this has been the Mystery Talks podcast. Leave a comment down below. Let us know what you think, your thoughts. Let us know if you think we're smart or stupid. We're really smart. I want you to comment that we're really, really smart, right?
Please debate
Okay,
us.
so-
I would
okay.
love it. We love you guys.
Yeah, debate us in the comments. Throw your thoughts and opinions and emotions. Send
I was
all
gonna
love.
say-
Hit
I was gonna
a
say- I
like
was gonna- I was-
button.
I was-
Shut up, Guy 2. You lost your
Yeah.
chance.
Get the
Hit
fuck
that
outta
like
here.
button.
This
Subscribe.
is too much, bro. This is
Hit
too
that
much. The
notification
conclusion is supposed to
bell
be
so
10
you stay
seconds.
tuned for
It's
next
been a minute.
episode. And
So
don't
what?
forget to
Yeah,
subscribe
people have
to
already
our
clicked off,
Patreon,
bro. They
because
have
on our
already clicked
Patreon we're
off.
gonna have very exclusive content only for a most beloved fan base. So
Yeah.
all the goodies are gonna be down there. So subscribe to our Patreon if you support us, if you support our message, and if you support what we're talking about and our way of portraying this message in mystery. So
See you guys.
stay tuned till next time. Peace out.
Okay. Well, I was gonna say when there's a storm, after a storm, there's always a rainbow. So it's okay. Just be hopeful. Anyways,
Well,
bye.
you lost your